won in 9 years. Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp had 9 years of intense rivalry, and this fixture is one of the marquee ones, hasn't it? Slot comfortably beating Pep Guardiola in the reverse fixture at Anfield. At the Etihad, it's a different proposition. They have been beaten on a couple of occasions, though. Manchester City, the champions, United and Spurs getting a result at the Etihad Stadium, and Liverpool will be looking to do the same here. Brisk start here from Liverpool, almost getting on the front foot immediately. Well, you see the team news, both teams playing with what looks like false nine there. Erling Haaland missing. He didn't play that massive game at the Bernabeu in the Champions League playoff where Real Madrid beat Manchester City and advanced to the round of 16. Pep Guardiola and City, they've given the ball away here. Liverpool immediately on the front foot here. Salah, Szoboszlai with the attack. Good block, and Foden comes, and Liverpool have started really well here at the home of the champions. Here's Marmoush, who had a hat-trick against Newcastle United. He'll be full of confidence getting his first goals for Manchester City in the Premier League. Well, it's been a fantastic campaign for Liverpool and Arne Slot, hasn't it? No one really expected them to go this far and be so far ahead of Arsenal at this moment in time. 8 points the gap after Arsenal could not do the job against... that's a decent ball there by De Bruyne between the legs of Van Dijk, and Konate makes the interception, and Manchester City immediately looking to respond here. Kevin De Bruyne starting a game after an age here, finally being trusted to probably give them maybe 60 or 70 minutes of good football here. Foden and De Bruyne playing as the two number 10s. Manchester City and Pep Guardiola going with an inexperienced lineup with Ake and Kusanov as the two centre-halves, Rico Lewis as the right-back, and Guardiola as the left, as Foden delivers the ball into the box and Alisson comfortably punches. Here's Marmoush. Doku there for support. Doku was on the bench against Real Madrid. Here's De Bruyne with the ball in. The clever flick header there by Nico Gonzalez. Took a deflection off Virgil van Dijk. It's another corner for Manchester City. The champions have started very well here after absorbing the early pressure. Liverpool and Alisson Becker will be making sure that they don't concede early here. Like I mentioned before, Liverpool haven't won at the Etihad Stadium in 9 years. That's another decent ball this time with a safe gather by Alisson. 3 minutes on the clock here. Liverpool will know what a massive game this is. They would have been watching yesterday's game between Arsenal and West Ham, and they would have been cheering on West Ham. Arsenal was so lackluster at home. It's been their home form which has really led to their downfall this season, getting eliminated in both the domestic cups at home to Newcastle and Manchester United, then dropping further points at home here, and almost feels like Liverpool can get 3 points here. They'll have one hand on the trophy as early as February here. That's a nice switch by McAllister to Diaz, who's peeled onto the left-hand side here. Here's Luis Diaz. He's got the overlap of Robertson, decides against it. That's a nice clip ball, but Guardiola wins that comfortably. Here's Doku, who will look to run at Alexander-Arnold. The Belgian will be looking to impress here. Skips past Arnold very easily here. Bright start from Jeremy Doku. As we mentioned there, Rico Lewis inverting from that right-back position into midfield to help Nico Gonzalez. Ilkay Gundogan on the bench. He started against Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu, where it didn't go according to plan. Kylian Mbappe scoring a hat-trick. Omar Marmoush scored a consolation free kick, which... that's brilliant from Doku again. The way he just sells Alexander-Arnold. Clever ball. Here's Marmoush. De Bruyne is there for the cutback. It's blocked by Van Dijk. Well, City are picking Liverpool apart here. Here's Gonzalez. Savio on the right and Doku on the left are providing the width here. And City, again in the central areas, looking to penetrate. Here's Marmoush again, who's looked bright, but he is offside. Erling Haaland missing 2 of the massive games that City would have wanted him to be fit. He has been City's top scorer by a clear distance. Speaking of top scorers, Mo Salah, 24 goals in the Premier League and 15 assists. And we're only towards the end of February here. He is having a historic campaign, the Egyptian. Well, the Egyptian king will see the Egyptian prince in the opposition territory. Omar Marmoush will want to get one over Mo Salah. Best believe that. The competitor in him, while having the utmost respect for Mo Salah, will want to get one over his idol here. Here's Konate. Nicely played there. Oh, that's given away. Marmoush again working tremendously hard to win back possession. Oh, it's given away to the opposite number 7 in Luis Diaz. Looking to burst past Kevin De Bruyne has done well. Here's Robertson on the overlap. Curtis Jones getting a surprise inclusion here in the start. See the likes of Nunez or Gakpo all missing out for Curtis Jones. A bit more security in the midfield areas. Knowing how City like to dominate that on his slot, going with that extra midfielder. It's a clever pass by Konate to Diaz on the left-hand side up against Rico Lewis. Here's Diaz. Teasing Lewis. Very well done there. He's lost the ball and lost his balance. De Bruyne plays that nicely to Savio, and he can just open his legs and extend and run at him. Nicely done. Savio has really exploded into life in Manchester City colours in the last couple of months. Getting the trust of Pep Guardiola at such a young age is not an easy task. But what he has shown is he's a quick learner and he's got bags of quality. Here's De Bruyne to Rico Lewis. Again, that midfield area. Since Rodri's injury, Pep has kept trying to find solutions in-house. It didn't work out, and that's why Manchester City went out and spent 60 million euros on Nico Gonzalez from Porto. City, the only real big spenders in January. Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Chelsea not showing the required ambition to make that extra push. You can see all the teams that I mentioned, barring Liverpool, are all facing the challenges because of the inactivity in January. Nicely done there by Marmoush, showing good strength here. Doku up against Gravenberch, one of the standout midfielders this season. Marmoush looks to go for goal from distance. Breaks nicely to De Bruyne, decided against pulling the trigger. Here's Savinho. Foden. Phil Foden with the shot harmlessly into the hands of Alisson. First shot on target there for Manchester City, and it's Phil Foden, who loves to shoot right outside the box. Just needs that one touch to get it out of his feet. Takes another one to go forward. Just getting that separation from Virgil van Dijk. The two centre-halves for Liverpool have been put under pressure recently. 3 out of 5 wins in the last 5 games for them. Those 2 draws coming up against Aston Villa and Everton. Last Merseyside derby being played at the old Everton ground at Goodison. It was a sensational goal, wasn't it, by James Tarkowski in the 96th minute to snatch the points away from Liverpool. Almost felt like if they had won that game, this would have been a seminal moment for them where the pressure wouldn't be to win the game. Might be a foul there by Robertson. Just a forearm onto the side of the head of Rico Lewis. Young Englishman back on his feet quickly there. Yeah, clear foul there by Andy Robertson, who's had a very tough campaign, hasn't he? The Scottish left back. And it's an area that Liverpool can definitely improve come summertime. Robertson has given 7 or 8 years of splendid service to Liverpool. It's about time that they might have to replace. Well, they might have to replace both fullbacks with Trent Alexander-Arnold, increasingly likely to move to Real Madrid in the summer. Alexander-Arnold, Salah, and Van Dijk yet to sign their extensions. They're free to talk with any of the non-Premier League clubs in January. Whether or not that has happened, it's been kept under wraps. Nobody really making their moves known to anybody. With Liverpool chasing on 3 fronts, well, all 4 fronts really. Losing to Plymouth in the FA Cup was a huge dent for them. But still, they have 3 trophies to compete for: the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle United, and of course the League and Champions League, where Liverpool have got a really tough task, haven't they, in the Champions League in the round of 16, going to the Parc des Princes, playing against the informed PSG. That is one fixture or one team that Arne Slot would have liked to avoid early in the tournament. But if Liverpool can win that game, it almost feels like they might just be the favourites alongside Real Madrid to lift the Big Ears trophy. Nicely done there by Curtis Jones, but he's lost out there. Here's Kusanov, plays it to Jeremy Doku. Kusanov has slowly started to start games. He started in right back in the Champions League playoff game against Real Madrid. He was up against Vinicius Jr. Not an easy task for the Uzbeki international, who's been thrust into the situation here with Manchester City having a bit of a defensive crisis. Manuel Akanji not fit, Ruben Diaz going injured, so Aki and Kusanov, the two centre-halves, with Edison in goal. Just over 10 minutes on the clock here, and 0-0 the scoreline. Manchester City, if they are to win today, they will leapfrog Nottingham Forest into third position. Nice pass there by De Bruyne. Robertson has been caught out here. Savinho lifts it forward, and it's a massive opportunity that has been well defended. Liverpool were in trouble there. Now look to play out. Here's Gravenberch showing his press resistance against Marmoush. Onto the right-hand side. Well read there by Guardiola. Now pushing forward for the first time, really. Here's Josko Guardiola with the inverted run. He's ventured forward. No one really putting in a challenge. De Bruyne. Oh, that's a poor pass there. Calmly intercepted there by Alexander-Arnold. He wanted Salah to make the run. He's up against Aki, who's a lovely one-on-one defender, but he's bursted past him. That's brilliant there from Mo Salah. He's into the box here. Has an option to cut across. Brilliant from Kusanov. On the slide there. Mo Salah absolutely rinsing Nathan Ake on the sidelines there. Manchester City were in real trouble there, but Kusanov on the slide does really well. 12 minutes on the clock. Liverpool looking to hit back here. Arsenal fans will be watching this game, almost burying their heads in their hands. They cannot believe how they have let this one slip so far away, where they're almost powerless in the hopes of trying to win their first Premier League crown in 21 years. Oh, there's a big mistake nearly there from Kusanov. Good pressure there from Luis Diaz. No foul given. Has to be careful in those situations. Liverpool have real athleticism going forward with the likes of Szoboszlai, Salah, Diaz, and even Curtis Jones has an engine on him. And Rico Lewis is cutting a cul-de-sac here, and they've pinched it nicely. Here's Dominic Szoboszlai. He's got options. Takes it on his left foot. He's left it. Here's Diaz. Another touch. Diaz with a cutback and well blocked. It's Kusanov again. He's having a massive couple of minutes. The young Uzbeki centre-half, Luis Diaz on the left-hand side, took an extra touch. So did Szoboszlai when the opportunity was there to probably hit it here. Decided against it. Or Salah was there, but he chopped on his left foot. It's a clever pass to Diaz. Looked to just shape that towards the far corner. Decides to take it onto his left foot instead. Liverpool looking threatening every time they go forward here. Alexis McAllister will take the corner. Brilliant start this from Liverpool. Just what Slot would have wanted, to be on the front foot here, not cede territory to Manchester City. McAllister with a poor corner, but it's clever. Oh, it's brilliant, and they get the lead. It's Mo Salah with the deflection. A clever set-piece routine caught everybody off guard, and it's Mo Salah with his 25th goal in the Premier League, and Liverpool lead at the home of the champions. 14 minutes on the clock, courtesy of the deflection of Nathan Ake. Mo Salah gets the goal in enemy territory. It looked like a poor corner there from Alexis McAllister. Instead, it was a very well-worked one. A clever back heel, fed to the center of the box where Mo Salah was on hand. And the deflection of Nathan Ake gives it comfortably past Edison, who had no chance there. Szoboszlai with a clever ball. This is brilliant. Straight off the training ground. Ake on the slide. And yes, Edison completely helpless. Slot celebrates. He knows what a massive goal that is in the scheme of things here. Liverpool with the perfect start. Nathan Ake has had a tough couple of minutes here as Manchester City are on the ropes here. They've given the ball away. They're looking all at sea here. Luis Diaz recovers, but the foul has been given. Mo Salah with yet another goal in a big fixture. 25 goals in the Premier League and 15 assists. That's 40 goal and assist involvement in the Premier League. Here's Doku. City looking to hit back swiftly here. Doku goes around the outside. It's good work there, but Robertson clears that away. City looking to hit back swiftly here. Robertson doing very well. Goes from out to in to defend that situation. Manchester City a bit shell-shocked here, but they'll have to respond. Here's Phil Foden. The City have lost 7 games in the Premier League. Completely out of character for them. But they've had a bit of a resurgence here. They'll know that spot in the Champions League is minimum for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. They have recovered very well, haven't they? Now somewhat look like their old self, but Liverpool have just been a cut above the rest of the league. Keeping it short, here's Rico Lewis to Nathan Ake. Gonzalez had a few touches early on. Finds Kusanov. Gonzalez again, clever pass to Rico Lewis, looking to break the lines. City looking to move Liverpool in those central areas and then look to switch it towards the wide areas. Here's De Bruyne again, trying to just feed that forward to Savinho. Should be able to take on Robertson. Yeah, and he does just that. Goes around the outside. Oh, he can't control the ball. Just look to chop that onto his left foot from his right and out for a goal kick. And Savinho has an opportunity to really give Andy Robertson a tough evening here at the Etihad. Slot with his team in the sidelines, making sure that any small adjustments are paid attention to. 17 minutes on the clock. Liverpool getting exactly what they were hoping for at kickoff here. Konate. Again, how difficult is it going to be for Manchester City without that striker? But I say that, but every time Haaland has come up against Virgil van Dijk, he's gotten absolutely no joy. So maybe this situation where Pep Guardiola has been forced to play Marmoush as a centre forward might just work in his favour here. Virgil van Dijk has completely dominated Erling Haaland every time they've played, even the likes of Ibrahima Konate, who's extremely physical. But City will have to change their approach. They've used the long ball a lot in the past few weeks, looking to just play it to Haaland and get the number 10s next to him involved. Another clever pass there. Liverpool looking to bypass the Manchester City midfield lines with a couple of quick passes here. Here's Rico Lewis. Gonzalez. Almost playing as a box here. Kusanov, Lewis, Ake, and Gonzalez. That 4 right in front. And then another 2 in front of the midfielders in De Bruyne and Foden. Almost playing like a rectangular shape in a vertical sense. Try to catch my drift with the 3 centre halves. Here's Ederson. 6 assists in the Premier League for Ederson. Most for any Premier League goalkeeper. Always an opportunity for him. He almost plays like an auxiliary centre half when Manchester City have the ball. The 2 centre half split. Ederson can dictate here. He's comfortable with the shot and lethal with his long passing. Again with Erling Haaland not there. That long ball option won't be there for Manchester City, and that's why they keep playing out the back here. Savinho with a push and run, but Virgil van Dijk easily comes across. No real shots for Alisson Becker to face, barring that Phil Foden effort that was comfortably gathered. Salah looking to turn Guardiola. Guardiola showing great strength there. Lovely work from the Croat. On the left-hand side, here's De Bruyne. Switching flanks here. Likes to operate on the right-hand side. Gives it to his Belgian compatriot, but it's easily cleared again. Alexis McAllister helping out defensively. Nice pass on the left-hand side again. Here's Doku. Jeremy Doku looking for options. He stood up Alexander-Arnold, now looking to burst away from the English right-back. Goes around the outside. Brilliant from Doku. The cutback is decent, but Van Dijk again. Superb defending from the Liverpool skipper. Just senses danger so well, doesn't he? Jeremy Doku just starting to grow into the game here. Both wingers are very much capable of giving the Liverpool fullbacks a torrid evening. They have to keep running at him, though. The space is there on their flanks, as Liverpool will try and congest that midfield area. They won't mind balls into the box, considering the defensive capabilities of Van Dijk and Konate, of course. Van Dijk again with that easy recovery. He's having a very comfortable game at centre-half. So is Ibrahima Konate. Here's Alisson. Nearing that halfway stage of the first half. And for Liverpool, and more importantly for Arsenal fans, they must be watching this game in horror here as they're seeing their hopes of trying to win their first Premier League crown in 21 years disappearing as the minutes tick by here. They will want Manchester City and Pep Guardiola to help them here. Here's Foden looking to run at the Liverpool defense. Gives it to Savinho instead. De Bruyne, Gonzalez, Marmoush. Patient, Omar Marmoush driving into the box. Here's Doku, who's looked lively in the early stages. Guardiola might look to clip the ball in. Again, no box presence whatsoever. Only De Bruyne, only man in the box here. Marmoush doing well, and he's up against Salah. Well done, the two Egyptians going at it. Then Salah puts in another challenge and concedes the corner. Good work there from Salah. You don't really see him too often helping out in a defensive capacity. But Arne Slot would have hammered home the point of how important this game is. I don't think the players would need any more motivation than to go potentially 11 points clear ahead of Arsenal. Marmoush will take this corner. Reaching that halfway stage. Corner taken, easily cleared. My friend Munish in the chat, Sudoku so far has been getting the better of Trent Alexander-Arnold. If a goal were to come for City, it's going to be down that wing. He's not wrong. I like that comment, Manish. Thank you. Keep them coming. That's a good shot from Marmoush from distance. As Manish mentioned in the chat, that left-hand side for Manchester City, a productive avenue. You can see even Marmoush going onto that left-hand side there, trying to get a bit of joy against Alexander-Arnold. Another shot on target. Straight into the hands of Alisson. He's had no trouble collecting those balls. Again, look at Salah. Touch tied. Brilliantly done there by Szoboszlai. He's picked up the loose ball. Gives it to Curtis Jones. Diaz on the left-hand side. Look at Robertson charging forward there. Good challenge by Rico Lewis. Comes flying in there. I think there's a foul there. Luis Diaz hasn't been at his most effective best in the recent weeks. Look at that first touch. It's far too heavy from him. Shows enough to Rico Lewis. I don't think there was a foul there as Luis Diaz completely stopped. Jeremy Doku has looked lively, but it's that final ball, isn't it? Try and find his teammate. No real box presence for those cutbacks. So De Bruyne will be the key. That's a very clever ball there by Guardiola, and good sweeping keeping there from Alisson. You can see the bench there for Liverpool. Plenty of firepower. Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, even Darwin Nunez as an option, even though Slot is really falling out of favor there. Oh, it's a criminal giveaway there by Konate, and it's cleared away. Guardiola with an important touch. There was far too casual there by Ibrahima Konate. You don't really associate that from the Frenchman. That's a foul there by Robertson on Savinho. Savinho, look how deep he is having to come to receive the ball here. This is just brilliant from Liverpool. Superb work from them. Yeah, clear foul there by Robertson. Pep Guardiola looking to plot his way back. And speaking of Pep Guardiola, I saw an awesome interview on Sky Sports when Neil Warnock, the old Sheffield Wednesday boss, saw him at QPR. He interviewed Pep Guardiola, two contrasting styles of managers. We've seen the side-by-side of how they approach their team talks. It's very similar, even though their philosophy and, of course, the brand of football is so different considering their football education and, of course, the clubs that they've represented. Really urge everyone to watch that one. That was a brilliant interview. So natural. It was almost like two friends catching up. And even Pep Guardiola looked very relaxed in that interview, which he very seldom does. Here's Rico Lewis. Foden Poor touch there. Luis Diaz helping out. Both Liverpool wingers, fantastic here. Working tremendously hard in a defensive capacity here. Here's Salah. The switch is on here. Oh, it's a brilliant pass. Can Jones keep that in play? He can't, but he gets the thumbs up. What a spot that was from Mo Salah. Does really well to hold the ball. Then he picks his head up. He sees the run of Curtis Jones, who might be playing as that auxiliary left winger at times when Luis Diaz might shift into a centre-forward role. Szoboszlai is almost playing like that false nine when Luis Diaz does play on that left-hand side. So plenty of movements. 25 minutes on the clock. Manchester City have to really kick into gear here. Need to see a lot more from Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden in those central areas. Here's Rico Lewis. Again, that midfield area is packed. Absolutely packed. Liverpool happy to play a high line at the Etihad. Brilliant work there by Gonzalez, but nearly losing out. Again, there's absolutely no way they can bypass the midfield. They have to do it out wide here. Here's Kusanov. Got to play it quicker here. City need to move the ball a lot swifter. Try and shift Liverpool from side to side. Here's Lewis. And keeping it short, Kusanov. Nicely played again. This is good patterns from Manchester City, but nothing threatening to Liverpool. Here's Savinho. Robertson is keeping a close eye on him. It's a nice pass onto the left-hand side. Here's Doku. Here's Jeremy Doku, twisting, teasing, ball into the box. What a powerful header that was from Virgil van Dijk. Well, they have to be careful here. Can Liverpool lethal on the counter-attack, aren't they? Every time City lose the ball in those areas, Pep Guardiola's heart rate will be racing. Here's Kusanov again. Again, Marmoush begging for the ball there. He's not going to get it. Instead is Savinho in a central area. He switched that too nicely to Doku. He's got a bit of space, trying to create separation of Alexander-Arnold. Good work again. Konate defends the front post very well. Well, that is something that the two Liverpool centre-halves are absolutely dominant at, defending the box. They have all the skill set needed from a modern centre-half, but the main one, that is defending the box. And that's where they do really tick the boxes. Here's Kusanov now playing further forward here with an offer by Savinho. Lewis, back to Savinho. Nice one-touch play. There might be a foul there. It's a needless foul by Dominic Szoboszlai. Anthony Taylor spotting the foul. It was just a bit of it, but right in front, enough. Yep, clear foul there by Szoboszlai. Sticks his leg out, dangling it unnecessarily. It's cross. I think he should be upset with himself. Jeremy Doku, it's been lively. But the likes of Marmoush and Foden have to do a lot more for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne off set piece duty. How often have we seen that? Almost is like the changing of the guard, isn't it? Whether or not Kevin De Bruyne will be here next season, we'll wait and see. City might just give him a one-year extension. I'm not sure if the offers from Europe will be flooding in for De Bruyne. That's a decent shot again by Phil Foden. Never really going to trouble Alisson. Phil Foden with an audacious free kick. Again on target. They've had a few attempts on target, but nothing really that is going to trouble the world-class keeper. That is Alisson Becker. Here's Konate. Back to Alisson. The long ball is here. The option is definitely there. City are looking to play and press really high up the pitch. Robertson has just thrown himself ahead of Savinho. Anything to stop the Brazilian. Again, Luis Diaz working so hard in a defensive capacity. That's brilliant work. Here's Omar Marmoush. It's Marmoush and it's 1-1. It's the offside flag. Yes, the flag does go up. Lethal finishing there by Omar Marmoush. Both Egyptians nearly getting on the score sheet there. Let's look at how tight this might be. Brilliant one-touch passing here. Rico Lewis awaits the challenge. Oh, yes, he's clearly offside. Foden's touch. Good work there by Konate and Robertson to push outside. Clearly offside. Brilliant stuff. Just over 30 minutes on the clock. And Manchester City having their first real shot there. Oh, it's a really concerning sign here for Liverpool. Their number 10 and their midfield maestro, Alexis McAllister, is pulled up here. He was on the slide, and it looks like Marmoush has just landed on him. So I think he should be okay, and it's not something that might be a muscle injury. Well, that's something that Liverpool cannot afford. They are very bare in midfield area. Yes, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott can all play, but Alexis McAllister's importance to the Liverpool midfield alongside Ryan Gravenberch cannot be understated. So Liverpool fans will be holding their breaths here, hoping that McAllister is okay. And Arne Slot and Pep Guardiola are both so animated on the touchline here as McAllister receives some treatment. Munish again with such a brilliant comment. There you go. Loving the extra effort from Diaz and Mo Salah. Putting to fall back when they are not in possession. Diaz moving towards the center. Salah continuing to stay on the wings but dropping. Spot on there, Munish again. I like how Salah, though, when the ball is being played, he's almost sticking touch tight with Joško Guardiola, just looking and hoping that he can just roll away from the Croatian centre half. McAllister looks okay, though. I think that was Marmoush landing on top of him more than anything else, and Liverpool fans will be breathing easy. 32 minutes on the clock here. Liverpool going according to plan here, on top of the league as it stands by 11 points. Yes, having played a game more. And Arsenal played Nottingham Forest midweek. That game will not be easy. As it stands, that will be second versus third. And away from home as well for Arsenal. So that is not going to be an easy game. Nuno Espirito Santos will look to be bouncing back after that 4-3 defeat at the hands of Newcastle today. What a game that was. Newcastle scoring 4 goals in 34 minutes? In a 10-minute spell where they absolutely blew the defense of Nottingham Forest. Forest getting 3 goals. Well, it was Hudson-Odoi rather who's opened the scoring in the 6th minute. And from there on, it was all about Newcastle. Newcastle now very much looking and very much interested in the top 4 spot. Very little to separate the teams from 4th to, I would say, 7th or 8th. Chelsea, of course, in 7th, level on points with 6th place Bournemouth. That is a sentence that I never thought I would say, by the way. Level on points with Bournemouth. Anyways, here's Doku. Savinho. Nicely played there, but again, Van Dijk comes across. He has just been superb, hasn't he, Virgil van Dijk? Just comes across and makes the challenge. I can't believe Liverpool have waited so long to lock down Virgil van Dijk. Personally, according to me, if you were having asked me to pick between Salah, Van Dijk, and Alexander-Arnold, and you can only extend one of those contracts, I know Salah's stats are unbelievable and he is the linchpin, but how can you look past Virgil van Dijk? How do you replace him? Here's Diaz now. Nicely done there. Plays it towards Salah, up against Guardiola. He can just open up, nicely played. Surely 2-0. Oh, brilliant. Nathan Ake on the slide there. Alexander-Arnold makes the untracked run. Jeremy Doku nowhere near. And that's the difference between the two wingers here. You cannot be doing that. No one within 30 yards of Alexander-Arnold on that overlap there. Pep Guardiola will be fuming with Jeremy Doku on that occasion. The cutback from Alexander-Arnold, if he'd found any of his teammates in those central areas, we're looking at 2-0 there for Liverpool. Instead, it's a corner for the table toppers here. McAllister's okay and will take the corner. Liverpool not very productive with their corners despite the size and aerial prowess of Van Dijk and Konate. Konate nearly gets his head to it. Alexander-Arnold will recover. Again, looking to keep this, and it's going according to plan here for Liverpool and Arne Slot. And as we mentioned there, even if Manchester City are to equalize, the firepower that Liverpool have on the bench is completely the difference. It will be the difference maker for sure. Jota, Gakpo, Even Nunez capable of scoring. Nunez, of course, scoring those 2 goals in extra time against Brentford to give them all 3 points when Liverpool look like they might be heading to the second defeat. The only loss for Liverpool in this season coming against Nottingham Forest at Anfield. What a shock that was early into the season. Since then, Liverpool just having to contend with a few draws, but other than that, they've had no issues tackling the Premier League here. And speaking of tackling stuff, they've tackled Champions League duties brilliantly as well. They were top of the Champions League standings, but their reward for that was facing PSG, who qualified through the playoffs against Stadio Brest. That was a brilliant performance from PSG, winning that by 10-0 on aggregate, 7-0, the second leg scoreline. I like what Luis Enrique is cooking up in Paris Saint-Germain. They've got a young and exciting squad, haven't they? And with the signing of Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, 70 million euros. What a snip for Paris Saint-Germain. After Napoli won the Scudetto, we're looking at Kvaratskhelia value at anywhere in excess of 100 million euros. Something has gone on there. I refuse to believe PSG just had a free hit there. It's got to be a story, hasn't it? The cynic in me definitely believes that. That's a lovely pass there by Alexander-Arnold to give it to Salah. Ken Guardiola, he's beaten him comfortably there. It's Szoboszlai! It's 2-0! And that could be that. Liverpool have one hand on the trophy, surely now. Dominic Szoboszlai with the crisp left-footed shot. And is that another goal involvement for Mo Salah? Yes, it is. 25 goals and 16 assists for the Egyptian king. And Dominic Szoboszlai scores his biggest goal for Liverpool yet. At the home of the champions, he has given Liverpool a 2-0 lead. No chance there. And it is again from back to front. This is such a clever ball from Alexander-Arnold. Let's see if Salah is onside. Salah is definitely onside. He lets it go. This is very switched on play there from Szoboszlai, knowing that he was offside. Brilliant stuff. Salah with the cutback. One touch from Szoboszlai to get it onto his weaker left foot. But how about that for ball striking on his left? Edison completely rooted to the spot, blinded by what's in front of him. And Liverpool are in dreamland here. 8 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the first half. Liverpool 2-0 up here. And as it stands, 11 points clear at the top of the league. Well, Arne Slot will have the champagne on ice, won't he? He'll know that there's still a long way to go in the Premier League. But this is a seminal moment, isn't it? Doing the league double against Manchester City. How many teams have said that in the past? I'm not sure. 2-0 at Anfield, where they completely ran City over. And now at the Etihad Stadium, 2-0 again. City look devoid of ideas going forward here. Oh, Konate with a needless foul. Marmoush almost manufacturing that foul. Well, how are Manchester City, from an Arsenal point of view, going to score 3 goals? I don't see how. But if City are to score one before halftime, they'll feel that they're back in this game here. This free kick is going to be very important. And once again, no Kevin De Bruyne on the free kick. Marmoush and Phil Foden. Almost like a passing of the torch moment, isn't it? When De Bruyne is just delegating duties. Marmoush and Foden, left and right foot. Which way is it going to go there? I think the right foot might be preferred. Marmoush with the ball into the box. What a header. Ibrahima Konate. That is called box dominance. Good pass there by Marmoush to Doku. Up against Alexander-Arnold as well. Here's Marmoush again. Oh, sits down Diaz nicely there. Again, no progress really made from Manchester City. Here's Guardiola. Well, 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain in the first half. Liverpool 2 to the good. Mo Salah opening the scoring courtesy of the deflection of Nathan Ake, and then turning provider to Dominic Szoboszlai to to make it 2-0 before halftime. Oh, Salah, great pace shown there. Guardiola, excellent on the recovery. Doku trying to use his strength. Nicely done there, showing real acceleration and trickery. Brilliant from Jeremy Doku. And again, Ibrahima Konate celebrates in front of the travelling fans. Brilliant. Just the way that they've dealt with everything in their box. City are looking threatening every time. Konate takes that on the slide, flush on the chest, and celebrates with the adoring travelling fans. Corner here for Manchester City. Again, no real size for City in the box. Ake and Kusanov not known for their aerial prowess. De Bruyne and Savinho loitering outside the box. Again, it's far too easy there for Liverpool. City are not going to trouble Liverpool with the balls in the box here. Not with the size that they lack. That's a clever ball there. Cushion header is very good from Kusanov. Here's Savinho. De Bruyne, brilliant from Szoboszlai. Look at the tracking back from the Liverpool forwards. It's just been too good. They're all committed to the cause, aren't they? They just know that they have to be switched on at all times. Punted forward again. Looking for that first touch. Can't find Salah. That Pep Guardiola looks shell-shocked here. He will not be happy with how this week has transpired. Two massive games. First against Real Madrid in the Champions League playoffs, where they were roundly beaten. Kylian Mbappe scoring the most perfect of hat-tricks. Well, it wasn't left foot, right foot header, but if you look at the quality of the goals that he scored, it was the perfect hat-trick. Here's Savinho now. Diaz with a clever bit of trick there, somehow coming away with the ball. There's City swarming him though. They won the ball back in midfield. Here's Marmoush. Look at the way Liverpool defend though. De Bruyne. The clip pass, easily dealt with by Van Dijk. Those headed clearances have been far too easy for the two Liverpool centre-halves. Dominic Szoboszlai showing his running power in this match. He has been tireless. City fully camped in the Liverpool half here. Arne Slot will be desperate to take that 2-goal advantage into half-time. Here's Savinho. Clever pass there. Rico Lewis has made the run. Clip ball in. Again, they're just putting crosses into the box. I don't see the benefit really of this. Liverpool will gobble those crosses every time those balls are delivered into the box. Van Dijk with a comfortable header away. Don't see who they're trying to aim this at. They are to play a ball into the box. It has to be behind the defensive line. Almost like a floater. But I don't see how they're going to try and do that against the leaps of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. Here's Kusanov again. Cleverly played by Ake onto the left-hand side. Here's Doku, who has been the only real creative spark for Manchester City without really threatening on goal. Doku, very nicely done there. Savinho looking to take on Robertson. He's got the overlap. Another ball into the box. Can't understand this tactic here from City. Here's Doku. Does so well again. Can deliver this to De Bruyne. He should have really found his Belgian captain on that occasion. De Bruyne much better with the crosses as we enter the final minute of normal time here in the first half. Manchester City lacking ideas. Something's got to change for them. Rico Lewis now. It really is, for Arsenal's point of view, a double whammy, isn't it? Not failing to win, the losing to West Ham at home and then seeing Liverpool winning at the Etihad Stadium. That's a 6-point swing that I don't think they'll be able to recover. They needed to beat West Ham. They needed to beat Nottingham Forest, rather, to keep the pressure on. But I think after this result, feels almost academic, doesn't it? They need 3 results to go against them, and Liverpool's goal difference right now, if I'm not mistaken, is plus 38. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 45 minutes on the clock here. See the amount of stoppage time that will be added on. It's been a free-flowing game, that's for sure. Only 2 minutes added on by the fourth official. Switch there by Ake to Kusanov, who's playing as an auxiliary right back now. Here's Rico Lewis from right back into the box here. Pep Guardiola is moving his pieces around here. Kusanov, of course, comfortable in those wide areas. One because of his ball playing abilities, and two because of his pace. Here's Gonzalez, who's had a tidy first half, but nothing in terms of really helping City solve problems. He had to be the man who had to close down Szoboszlai. When the opposite number 10 scores, you always look at your number 6. Where was his position when all that was happening? Here's Gonzalez. It's another deflection there, but it's easily gathered by Alisson, nearly getting wrong-footed on that occasion. Another shot on target for Manchester City, and another shot really is just for the statistics. It will be added as a shot on goal, sure, but Alisson has not been threatened. Arne Slot, well, incredible, isn't it? And nobody gave Liverpool a prayer after Jurgen Klopp departed after 9 years of service. Only £12 million invested in the summer into the first team for this season, where Federico Chiesa, who's barely kicked a ball for Liverpool, acquired in the summer window. Big outlay that they made was on the Georgian keeper, Mamadashvili, if I'm not mistaken, from Valencia. He'll join Liverpool next season. Other than that, Liverpool kept their hands in their pockets. They did not flash the checkbook. Despite all that, Liverpool find themselves well on top here. Here's De Bruyne. De Bruyne with the strike. Oh my goodness. If there was ever a moment to encapsulate Kevin De Bruyne in 2025, that one was it. And that disappointing shot from Kevin De Bruyne sounds the halftime whistle, where Liverpool are in total control in the home of the champions. 2-0 to the good after Mo Salah in the 14th minute gave them the lead, and then turned provider to Dominic Szoboszlai, who added the second 8 minutes before the halftime whistle. Liverpool cruising at the Etihad Stadium. 2-0 here at halftime. And as it stands, on 64 points, having played 27 games. Brilliant. And Arsenal, well, they'll be looking at the table in almost resignation now, isn't it? Half-time here at the Etihad Stadium. It's Manchester City 0, Liverpool 2. Two 0 for Liverpool. We'll go through the score lines that's going through Europe right now. Barcelona, of course, beating Las Palmas 2-0. That was a brilliant goal by Dani Olmo. Anyone's not seen that. And Ferran Torres adding one in stoppage time. You look at La Liga, the table right now. Barcelona played 25 games, 54 points for them. Identical are Real Madrid rather. 25 games played for them, 54 points. Only goal difference separating the two rivals. And Atletico Madrid are just a point behind. They will have a say in the title race, that's for sure. Speaking of Real and Atletico, they'll face each other in the Champions League round of 16. What this new format has done has thrown this situation where teams from the same country play against each other in the round of 16. Other fixtures, of course, Barcelona taking on Benfica. That won't be an easy one. Arsenal getting PSV. For Arsenal's point of view, I think they'll favor that draw. They were also very good, but considering the injuries that they have right now, they'll be desperate for the likes of Martinelli and Saka to return once the Champions League is back in full force. Real Madrid, of course, beating Girona by 2-0. Luka Modric, what a goal from the Croatian legend, still putting on a masterclass at 39 years of age. Vinicius adding the second for them. That's 2-0 for them. And yesterday in the Premier League, a lot of action, wasn't it? It all started with Brentford beating Leicester 4-0 at the King Power Stadium. Everton and Manchester United played a 2-2 draw. Everton were 2-0 up and really Manchester United was staring down the barrel of yet another defeat. You could see Ruben Amorim during that game almost felt like his resignation was on the way. He looked dejected, deflated, and out of his depth. But Manchester United rescuing a point. Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte scoring in the second half. Bournemouth surprisingly losing to Wolves 1-0 at the Vitality Stadium. Mateus Cunha scoring yet another goal. Scored a beauty at Anfield last week. Continues his goal scoring prowess as Arsenal drop points, all 3 points rather, to West Ham at home. Graham Potter with a very impressive victory at the Emirates Stadium. Fulham losing at home 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Anderson's own goal rather than Munoz scoring that one. Ipswich losing 1-4 to Tottenham Hotspur, who's starting to have a bit of a resurgence as Brighton absolutely pumped Southampton 4-0 at St. Mary's. And the final game of Saturday was really a heartbreaker. Chelsea travelling to Villa Park against Aston Villa, took the lead. Enzo Fernandez scoring from close range after Pedro Neto's brilliance on the flank. Chelsea really struggling for goals, and it almost felt that we needed something early on. We got that, but we couldn't capitalize. At no point did it look like we were confident for the victory. Marco Asensio scoring the equalizer, Marcus Rashford with the assist. And when the score was 1-1, about 10 minutes to play, Moises Caicedo brilliantly set Cole Palmer through on goal. It surely had to be the only chance that we were going to get to try and win that game. Palmer fluffed his lines. Well, he slipped, but still got a shot on target, which was cleared off the line quite comfortably. It was so disappointing. Palmer is having a rough 2025. He hasn't really looked as his former self. The productivity is completely gone. He's starting to look very frustrating in some phases as well now. But we have to rely on him because of the way Enzo Maresca has gone about this season, never really trusting in Nkunku, Felix, or Sancho in those central areas. It's all about Cole Palmer in that number 10 position. We saw Enzo Maresca trying the 3-4-3 yesterday, going with Gusto and Reece James playing on that right-hand side, the pivot of Caicedo and Enzo, and the front three of, having a look at the goals there, the front three of course, Palmer, Nkunku, and Pedro Neto. The goal that Chelsea conceded right at the death in the 90th minute, it was criminal, man. It was absolutely criminal from Jorgensen. I mean, how are Chelsea spending so much money on keepers and we don't have a single decent one? It blows my mind. Jorgensen's mistake is, it's not even schoolboy, man. It's like a sabotage. How you can let that go? It's a tame effort, weak wrists, awful. And it's got me hoping for Sanchez again. I mean, that's how terrible Chelsea's goalkeeping situation is, because that mistake from Jorgensen, I mean, it's unforgivable. Yes, Sanchez gives the ball away and gives everybody anxiety, I'm sure, but my goodness, man, what are we going to do in the goalkeeping position? Are we going to spend another 20, 30 million pounds on another keeper? Oh, I don't know, man. We already bought Mike Penders from Genk. Is he going to be trusted? The 6'7" Belgian keeper? I'm not sure, man. I mean, after spending all that money, Chelsea's still looking for a goalkeeper, a backup number 9, maybe another centre half. Definitely cover needed in midfield. Now, whether or not that's going to be in-house from our loan, that is Andre Santos or Leslie Ugochukwu, we'll find out. But I know, man, there's a massive summer coming for Chelsea. After wasting, I would say, absolutely wasting 200 million pounds this summer. Terrible, terrible window. Not a single hit from there. This was a season where we were supposed to make that jump. Maybe a few experienced players coming in. And in fairness, they did go for experience, but look at the signing. Tosin Adebayo free from Fulham. He has been decent. And then you look at Jadon Sancho, a loan with an obligation to buy 25 million. Terrible. Let me tell you something. Terrible. I have zero faith how he's going to turn it around for him. And then you see Pedro Neto. I mean, I was so excited with his signing. I thought he would give us another dimension, but my goodness. It looks like, I don't know how Chelsea are going to recoup that, because Pedro Neto's what, 26? He's got an injury history, but fair play to him for this season. He has been fit, but his quality, he's a head down winger. We cannot have that. This is not the bottom of the league. This is not mid table. I mean, Chelsea might finish mid table, but we're looking to aspire towards the top. And he's not the kind of winger. He's a ball striking winger. He's got great ability on both feet to really hit the ball, and he's got that ability where he cuts in on that right and puts in really good deliveries. But Chelsea don't have that box presence, so that quality of his is redundant in this Chelsea setup. Again, in this summer window, Chelsea have Estevao coming from Palmeiras. So are we going to put all the burden on that 17-year-old? Try and rescue that our right-wing problems that we have with Chelsea, not just right-wing, but also left-wing problems with Mikhailo Mudryk now completely absent after his doping results. Still no news from his B sample. So if that's the case, still absolutely no news. It only means one thing, that I think the B is positive too. I don't want to speculate, but it's just been that kind of a season for Chelsea. Started off so well, and it looks like Chelsea could finish fifth, but could very easily finish ninth, because Brighton are 3 points behind us in ninth. But if Chelsea win, they look at that, they're just a point behind fourth place Manchester City. So it's the glass half full, glass half empty approach. Haven't been confident, and knowing that Nico Jackson, Noni Madueke are both injured for a bit of time now. Romeo Lavia missing time as well. Wesley Fofana might be available maybe after the March international break. Might get better after that, but I think the next 2 or 3 weeks, Chelsea are really going to struggle. Really, really going to struggle. Goal scoring has been a huge problem. We're getting nothing in midfield. It's great that Enzo Fernandez finally registered after a huge goal drought for a long time. He got onto a hot streak where he scored against Aston Villa. Spurs is looking like might get that answer from goals from midfield. But yeah, man, Chelsea looking in all sorts of trouble. If we look at the league table, Liverpool, as it stands, 64 points after 27 games with a goal difference of plus 38. Absolutely brilliant. And Arsenal, on the other hand, 26 played, 53 points for them with a goal difference of plus 28. So it's an extra point basically for Liverpool, that goal difference. Nottingham Forest losing today, still find themselves in third, and they will remain in third if the results here at the Etihad Stadium remains the same. City will be at 44 points, so will Newcastle, 4th and 5th, Bournemouth and Chelsea level in 6th and 7th. So very, very little to separate from 4th to 8th. Just 2 points separating those 4 places. Manchester United, on the other hand, as well, has got to really scroll to find them. They're in 15th. 30 points after 26 games, 8 wins, -7 goal difference for Ruben Amorim. I mean, what was he thinking, right? To leave sunny Portugal, top of the league, in the Champions League. He's left all that to go to cold Manchester, and he's just facing an absolute nightmare. I mean, how is he going to fix this? Because he's only going to play the back three, and Manchester United never in their history have played a back three. I think for some time under Louis van Gaal they did play a lot with academy players, but let's say 10 years they haven't played a back three. They haven't recruited for a back three or a back five even. And now Ruben Amorim is having to play one less attacker when Manchester United already had problems scoring goals. So what does he do here? Does he play an attacker at wing back, which he's never really done? He has got, I mean, not him, but Manchester United have got rid of Anthony and Marcus Rashford on loan, both not being replaced, only real wingers. And, of course, Amad Diallo going to miss the rest of the season by the looks of it with that ankle injury. So Manchester United going forward have to rely on Joshua Zirkzee, Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund. I mean, does that fill any Manchester United fan with hope? I mean, I don't know how they get their next wins They do play Ipswich, Fulham, Real Sociedad before they face Arsenal in the league. So a phase where the next 3 games, Ruben Amorim can start to build a bit of confidence, especially with those 2 cup competitions where they do play Fulham in the FA Cup at home and then away where they go to Real Sociedad in the Europa League. It looks like we will be set for the start of the second half now. Whether or not Manchester City might make substitutions at halftime, knowing that they have to chase the game. Let's have a look at Manchester City's bench. We're very curious to see what they have. I know they have a lot of midfielders, but in terms of forward players, they do have Bernardo Silva, got James McAtee, who did score against Newcastle, and then you're looking at Nunes and Grealish. So in terms of real firepower, Manchester City are really lacking. They have to pretty much deal with it with what they have in front of them. They're all but set for the start of the second half here. The champions chasing a 2-goal deficit at home against league leaders Liverpool, who look to extend their lead to 11 points, and they will be sleeping very, very peacefully at the end of the match here if this has to stay as a Liverpool win here. Nathan Ake, who had that deflection off that first goal, and Mo Salah's strike. It was a good block from Nathan Ake, but such was the unfortunate nature of it that it rendered Ederson helpless. Here's Guardiola, and no changes. You can see Liverpool playing such a high line here, and see City having to drop the line because of the lack of physicality really in that team. Really, they really have no physicality, I would say. Only Josko Guardiola to some extent. Even Nathan Ake probably a bit powerful. Doku, of course, is a compact and explosive player, but you really associate him with physicality. Not really sure. Lack of physicality in the Premier League really is a killer. Chelsea definitely have that issue. And it's something that we definitely have to address going forward. Something that even City will have to do so. When you put Rodri and maybe the likes of Akanji and Haaland back in the squad, suddenly see a lot more physical prowess in the team. So for City, it's more injuries rather than recruitment. Chelsea, on the other hand, it's all about recruitment. Here's Guardiola. Doku had a decent first half against Alexander-Arnold. That's another clever pass, but look at Virgil van Dijk, man. Look at his pace. The way he just lengthens his stride and gets across. He'll concede the corner. Manchester City with a bright start to the second half here. They'll want to get that goal as quickly as possible. Arsenal fans and the Arsenal players and, of course, the club in general will be hoping that Pep Guardiola and Manchester City can at least salvage a point here. keep their faint hopes of trying to win their first Premier League crown in 21 years alive. Ball into the box. They can't get that header on target. And out for a goal kick. And yet another ball in the box. I don't know how this really does trouble Liverpool. Alisson is, of course, a front foot keeper. He likes to come and claim for high crosses. Then they have the likes of Van Dijk and Konate, who are powerful box dominators. Guardiola, on the other hand, making that he's had a very diminutive team, I would say. It's a lot of technical ability. Speaking of technical ability, here's Marmoush combining with De Bruyne. Is Savinho looking to just clip that, and look who it is again. It's Virgil van Dijk with the block. Brilliant from him. And looking to keep this shot. Nicely played onto the right-hand side. Here's Kusanov. Savinho. Gonzalez needs to be a lot more adventurous with his passing in the second half here, Nico Gonzalez. He's been safe and he's been assured. Needs to start taking a bit more risk here. In that midfield area, Gundogan, Nunez, Kovacic. Won't really, apart from Gundogan, who isn't the Gundogan of old, with that goal threat from midfield. No Haaland of well, missing this crucial phase. What looks like minor knock or illness. Yes, Savinho up against Diaz. Look at Diaz working hard again, but he's wriggled away from him. Nicely passed across field to Jeremy Doku. Josko Guardiol on his left foot. Konate brilliant, keeps his feet though. Here's Doku again. Such a tricky customer. Guardiol. Marmoush thought about it. It's Marmoush with the strike. It's Van Dijk with yet another block. Brilliant. Again, a tame effort. Wasn't really going to trouble Alisson from there on his left. Oh, they have to be careful here because Liverpool can break. Rico Lewis making a mess of that duel on that occasion, but Liverpool recover possession. Haven't really started the second half, Liverpool. Only 5 minutes into the second half. It's been all Manchester City in terms of all on their feet here. Here's Gravenberch. Had a quiet first half. Really getting into the box here. Liverpool happy to play through the wings. Here's Alisson Becker. Again, punted forward. It's a decent ball. There's Gonzalez again. He's got a lot of time and space here. Has to play a good pass here. He's gone straight to De Bruyne. Oh, that's so poor from De Bruyne. My goodness. What's happening here, De Bruyne? The shot right at the end of the half was so bad that it went to the corner flag. And now that pass, it's uncharacteristic, isn't it? Really is sad to see a player who has dominated for so long now looking like a shadow of his former self. 5 minutes into the second half. Here's Marmoush. Well intercepted again. He's broken kindly, but look at that. There's no space in the central area. Surely there's a foul there by Marmoush. Yeah, it's a foul. Ball gets away from the Egyptian. Lunges at Curtis Jones there. He's trying to recover the ball on some occasion. And I don't say this very often, but Anthony Taylor has had a good game. You see that. He knows that the ball was gone away from him. And yes, you can see him catching with the studs. Good positioning there from the referee on that occasion. Yep, just catching him on the side of the boot. It's a painful one. Good spot by Anthony Taylor. And 5 minutes into the second half, no change from the scoreline at halftime. Liverpool still cruising here. This is all going according to plan for them. Nice little switch again. 9 goals in the Premier League today from the 2 games. That has been brilliant to see. As it stands, Mo Salah, 25 goals and 16 assists. Superb. Absolutely superb. Here's Foden. It's had a very quiet first half. In terms of really helping with the creativity, he doesn't do much, does he, Phil Foden? He's good in terms of taking those shots outside the box. But in terms of anything delicate, I don't think so. Played that one pass around the corner for Marmoush when he scored, but he was offside. But other than that, in terms of anything, in terms of picking the lock, very little. That's a good pass here. Salah has a lot of room to run. Guardiola comes across now. Here's Mo Salah. Salah with the outside of his boot. looking for any sort of contact. Robertson flings the ball into the box. Alexander-Arnold will do well to keep this in, but he can't. It's out for a throw-in. Again, far too much room there for Salah onto the right-hand side here. Again, every time, that's a really clever ball there, wasn't it, by Alexander-Arnold on the outside of his boot. This is where Salah's so dangerous, that outside of the boot pass, trying to find a run at the far stick. No one really making that. It was only Andy Robertson who made that late run into the box. Well, Szoboszlai and Mo Salah assisting each other for the goals. Szoboszlai, of course, getting that the assist rather for the first goal, for such a clever flick right out of the training ground, that corner routine. Made me look very foolish. I thought that McAllister has completely mishit that. Instead, it turned out to be so clever. Brilliant leave there by Savinho. Here's De Bruyne. Looks so much slower now, De Bruyne, doesn't he? Here's Foden again. He's been dispossessed. Well done there by Alexander-Arnold. Oh, Salah has just rolled Guardiola. Looking to get past him. He's done really well here. Here's Szoboszlai. They can run at City. They're a bit stretched here. That's a clever pass by the Hungarian. Here's Andy Robertson on the underlap here. Diaz holding the width. Kusanov playing as a right back here now. Nicely done there by Lucho. And Liverpool now camping outside the City box. First time really in the second half that they're doing so. Here's Van Dijk. Look at the two centre halves playing this game at a walking pace. Here's Gravenberch. Haven't really needed Gravenberch to be at his absolute best in this match. What a pass that is by Van Dijk. Sensational. Immediate control by Mo Salah. Sensational stuff here by the two Liverpool legends here. Brilliant. Szoboszlai with the back heel. Very well read there by Nico Gonzalez. Now City on the move here. Foden finds Marmoush. Here's Gonzalez. The switch surely has to be on here. Decides to go short to Rico Lewis. Onto the right-hand side. Decides against it. Here's Gonzalez again. Guardiola. Doku. Doku going after Alexander-Arnold for the first time, and it's brilliant from Konate again. Just the way the two Liverpool centre-halves sense, smell, and read danger really is envious, to say the least. Surely a foul there by Josko Guardiola, no? Okay with that, Anthony Taylor? Here's Foden again, goes for the switch. Foden has been so rubbish, man, today. What is he doing out there? How can you play that pass? It's blind, and now Liverpool on the move here. It's Mo Salah. He's played the through ball. Here's Luis Diaz. He might be through on goal here. Brilliant recovery pace shown there by Kusanov. Well, that was all down to Phil Foden. Cannot do that. What is that kind of pass? And suddenly, Manchester City are all at sea, and they were very, very close to getting the third there. Brilliant through pass there, and Kusanov showing his pace. Brilliant from the Uzbeki centre-half. Great recovery pace. Phil Foden, what are you doing? Trying to play a poor switch there. So, look at his body language too. Really is unacceptable. Here's Gravenberch. Oh, brilliant. Here's Dominic Szoboszlai. Surely now 3-0. Oh, it's Diaz. That's Jones. Is the flag going to be raised? Oh, it's not going to be raised. Curtis Jones makes it 3-0. Liverpool walk the ball into the net here. They are pulling Manchester City apart. Liverpool surely now Premier League champions 24-25. For all of Manchester City's play in the second half, Liverpool with just a couple of minutes of play in the second half, and they pull Manchester City apart. What a pass this is from Dominic Szoboszlai. Then leads his shot. This is so clever from Ryan Gravenberch. Oh, is Szoboszlai offside? He just might be, you know. I think his toe was offside. This is such a tight call. I think that's his offside. City will get a huge respite here. Surely Szoboszlai is offside. He's got to draw the line. That toe and it's going to be drawn, for sure will be off. Liverpool do get a lot of these favourable decisions though, so I wouldn't be surprised. And no one playing him off on the far end. Yep, Szoboszlai clearly offside. That was a tight call. What a pass that was from Gravenberch though. Just opening up Manchester City, and Curtis Jones with the absolutely unmarked finish. City get away with that one. Huge sigh of relief for Pep Guardiola, Manchester City and Arsenal too. But Curtis Jones, nearly scoring the third, is getting the fans pumped up here, and he wants his team to go again to add the third. Here's Marmoush, bullied off the ball. Here's Gonzalez to Jeremy Doku. Doku, clever pass. It's Marmoush! Oh! It's the first time really that Manchester City came close. Omar Marmoush making a very clever run. This Jeremy Doku, again the instigator. Clever reverse pass. Marmoush with a decent first touch there. Again, Foden looking for the ball into the box. Marmoush not really picking his head up there. And Van Dijk on the cover. Not easy to try and play a ball around the big Dutch defender. Omar Marmoush has looked lively. Him and Doku tried their very best. Corner into the box. Van Dijk with yet another headed interception. I'm going to bring some stats here. I have to see how many recoveries, interceptions and blocks Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate have made in this match. It's been special. Really has been. Brilliant from Doku. Again, another block there from Konate. Superb. Absolutely superb. Have a look at Virgil van Dijk here. Hasn't won a tackle, according to FootMob, but 3 blocks, 4 clearances, 4 headed clearances, 1 interception, 3 recoveries, winning 67% of his ground duels. So, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Not dispossessed once. I mean, yes, he's 33, and yes, it is a risk giving a player at that age a massive contract, a pay rise, but how do you replace him? He's always fit too. Doesn't miss a game. Plays 90 minutes week in, week out. That only injury when he did his ACL against Everton, was it? During the COVID season? The season after the COVID season, that was. They became champions the season after. Other than that, Virgil van Dijk plays the game at such a relaxed pace. Never really picks up anything. How do you replace that? Really, what a pass. That is from Alexander-Arnold on his left foot there. Salah with the outside of his boot. Brilliant from Kusanov again. Well, he has been head and shoulders Manchester City's best defender, the Uzbeki centre-half. Oh my goodness, Kevin De Bruyne, what is that touch? He concedes the corner. He puts his hand up in, but what is he going to do here? Surely Pep has to take him off. He's having a nightmare out there in the middle. 60 minutes where Pep Guardiola hoped that Kevin De Bruyne could have given something. He's been a net negative, unfortunately, for Manchester City. Under 30 minutes per stoppage time remain at the Etihad Stadium, as Liverpool will have one hand on the trophy as early as end of February. That's how crucial and seismic this win would be. Another corner. McAllister will take this. McAllister with the ball in. Another routine from the training ground. Oh, nearly getting the third. Snapshot there from Andy Robertson on his weaker right foot. It looked like Curtis Jones on that side, but was Andy Robertson. Because he pulled it with his right foot, I was wondering, surely that can't be Robertson. It was. Slices that horribly out for a goal kick. Under 30 minutes per stoppage time remain for Manchester City to try and salvage a point at least. For Liverpool, continue as you are. Still either team yet to make a substitution. Liverpool could try and bring on the likes of Endo to shore things up. Really, they don't have to change anything in midfield. Haven't been troubled. But going forward, they can always use an outlet like Cody Gakpo, Darwin Nunez, or Diogo Jota. As you look at the statistics, all in favor of Manchester City, but this is where I implore everyone to watch football with their eyes and never with the stats. Yes, City have dominated possessions. Yes, they have 11 shots, but does it look like a game where City have remotely dominated? No. Not even close. It's been all Liverpool. Here's Rico Lewis. Nicely paid to Savinho. Not his influential best today. Gonzalez. Back to Rico Lewis again. And keeping it short, keeping it close. Nicely done here. Guardiol to Doku. Doku looking to run at Alexander-Arnold here. Doku. Jeremy Doku looks for the cutback. Good defending again. Alexander-Arnold has improved so much since the early phase where Jeremy Doku was getting a lot of success against the right back. But since then, he's been brilliant. Alexander-Arnold, who Pep Guardiola is going to blink here and make the first substitution. It's not one of his experienced heads. It's James McAtee, the forward, who will be coming on. Here's Robertson motoring forward. City really struggling to get back. Here's Diaz. It's Luis Diaz! What a save! Well, that was not angling towards the corner. Sharp save there by Edison. Luis Diaz with real purpose in that move. Brilliant save there by Edison. Had to be on that full extension. Wasn't going to really find the corner, but nicely struck by the Colombian. Two-nil here for Liverpool. Now a corner. This would be their first win in 9 years at the Etihad Stadium. Jurgen Klopp, since he arrived at the club, getting only that one-time success at the Etihad Stadium. And I believe it was in his first or second match as Liverpool boss ever. I remember that game very clearly. I think it was 4-1 to Liverpool. As the corner comes into the box. So good header there by Josko Guardiol. Yeah, it was 4-1. I remember Roberto Firmino, Emre Can, Philippe Coutinho, all ripping Manchester City that time. But the boss at that time was Pellegrini, and it was not Guardiola. So Pep Guardiola not losing to Liverpool since he's been boss of Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Hasn't been the case at Anfield, where Liverpool has had a bit of success. The other hand, I would say Pep Guardiola, I don't think he's won also in about 6 or 7 years at Anfield. So both managers, away to their fiercest rivals, weren't able to get those 3 points, which would have been those psychological edges, weren't they, in those title races. They used to go all the way down to the wire, both teams in excess of 90 points. That was a special battle between Klopp and Pep, but when the record shows, it will just look like domination, won't it? The last 7 years, Manchester City winning 6 of those 7 Premier League titles, with Liverpool winning just the one that's broken kindly there for Savinho. Savinho again, thought about the shot. Gonzalez with the first time shot really hasn't really troubled anyone on the occasion. I think the way Liverpool have been off the ball has been special. Really has been special. A live chat here from my friend Monish. KDB needs to be subbed off. A lot of City's attacks are breaking down because of him. And just as that happens, Kevin De Bruyne's evening comes to an end. It's been tough. It's been really tough, hasn't it, for the world-class Belgian. He hasn't looked himself. Looks completely off the pace. He gets 65 minutes where he has been subbed off. And James McAtee now introduced into the attack. Will we see him play as that number 9, or does he just slot in where Kevin De Bruyne was and Phil Foden almost remaining as that false 9? 24 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Pep Guardiola making his first substitution. Under 30 minutes to go. Savinho, brilliant there, but he can't keep the ball from going out of play for a goal kick. Savinho with a real burst. Starting to grow a lot more in the second half, but might be far too late. Good work there from Savinho, showing his directness. Such a difficult customer to try and stop. Love his close control. He'll be a real pick for Brazil, won't he? For the next World Cup, him and Rodrigo on that right-hand side. Even Rodrigo could play striker if Vinicius plays left and Savinho could play right. So plenty of options for Brazil. Yeah, What a pick that is from Guardiola. He'll be very happy that his only summer acquisition from Girona, Savinho, has been very good for him. Here's Marmoush, his winter acquisition. Decent ball into the box. And McAtee, but it was Konate with the clearance. Brilliant from him again. Way they identify and sense danger so good. This is a nicely clipped ball here from Omar Marmoush. Everyone on side. Almost landing kindly there to Nico Gonzalez, but Ibrahima Konate senses the danger brilliantly. Guardiola hasn't really ventured forward, and that's probably partly because of the formation switch with Nico. Oh, brilliant there from Doku. Again, Phil Foden loses the ball. So poor from him. What a turn that is from Luis Diaz. Looks to run at the Manchester City defense. Good work there by McAtee. Brilliantly done there by Manchester City as they recover the ball. Superb work there from Jeremy Doku. I love that flick. It's his trademark flick, isn't it? One where he's facing up the defender and he goes the other way with that drag back. So hard to defend. Because he's such a powerful unit, just uses his body, and once he gets ahead of you, it's really hard to get around him. Here's Gonzalez. Again, not very safe with his passing. Here's Savinho. Savinho again. Here's Phil Foden. What a block. Gravenberch on that occasion. They've put their bodies on the line here, Liverpool. It almost feels like whatever happens, they're going to leave Etihad Stadium with all 3 points. They won't get a better opportunity than this. Here's Aki. Vardiol. Doku. Up against Arnold. Gonzalez. He's never really going to shoot, isn't he? They just allow him all the space. They know he's a safe player. Here's Savinho. Savinho again goes around the outside. The right-footed pass. McAtee trying to recover. They clear that away. See, if that was Rodri on that occasion, they would never give him that kind of space because of Rodri's goal-scoring prowess. The way he strikes the ball, Gonzalez has none of that in terms of goal threat. So Liverpool just say, you know what? Take the space. Take your time. Play a safe pass, and that's exactly what he does. Here's Kusanov. I thought he's had a very good game, Kusanov. Amidst all the chaos for a young man to play against the table toppers and all the pace that Liverpool have, acquitted himself very well. Here's Doku again. Salah is doubling up here. This is a completely different Mo Salah, isn't it, in terms of defensive discipline shown by him. Here's Savinho again. He's been the only bright spark for Manchester City, but they've doubled him again. Brilliant from Lucho. Luis Diaz works so hard to help out Andy Robertson, knowing that Robertson might be under pressure, knowing that Savinho's, 10 years younger than him, quicker than him, got more skills. So Lucho does the wise thing of doubling up. And there's Salah again. Brilliant. Look at where he's won the ball, just outside the Liverpool box. Sensational. This is coaching, man. If anybody ever wonders what a coach does, it's this. It's getting Mo Salah to track back. It's brilliant. This is Doku again. Doku with the strike, well blocked. 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Gonzalez keeps it short. Foden. Heavy ball there, but Savinho does very well. Outside of the boot pass. Here's Doku on the chest. Jeremy Doku harmlessly into the hands again. Alisson Becker has faced shots on target, but nothing really has troubled him. This is a good move there. Robertson charging in, lunging in, really. Jeremy Doku getting the ball down on his chest and trying to hit that on target. Again, not the connection required. And look who is there again. Ibrahima Konate immediately on the cover there. Liverpool looking to go long here. They've pretty much bypassed the midfield, haven't they? Gravenberch and McAllister have almost been functional players, serving their role, keep the ball moving, be those defensive covers, make sure that City don't have that overload in the central areas. Beautiful switch there from Gravenberch. Here's Van Dijk, who's hardly broken sweat alongside his centre-half partner, Konate. Liverpool readying a double substitution here. Surely a handball there by Nico Gonzalez. Surely, no. Doesn't give it. Ball's gone out of play there. And the double substitution now being readied for Liverpool. And it's conservative from a Liverpool point of view. Left back being subbed off. Andy Robertson has given 72 very good minutes for Liverpool, and Kostas Tsimikas, the Greek left back, replaces him. And it's a chorus of applause for the experienced Scottish left back. What a shift he's put in a season where he really has struggled. He's put in a really good performance up against Savinho. Not easy considering the age gap and the pace difference between the two teams. And it's Curtis Jones being withdrawn for the Japanese international, Wataru Endo. Endo will just drop in almost as that extra defensive midfielder. Him and Gravenberch will almost be playing as a pivot, and this will allow Alexis McAllister to venture further forward, or almost play as that 3 in midfield and almost not move around, just move from side to side. They don't need to score yet another goal here, Liverpool. They can just lock things down. Nearly scored the third. Szoboszlai offside by just his toe on that occasion in the build-up to that offside goal. Here's Gonzalez again. Look, he's thought about that long pass. It's almost like I have sympathy for him because he's just joined the club. He's just looking to understand his team and his teammates' runs. He wants to play that first-time ball. Every time he decided against that, he's taken 1 or 2 touches and then kept it short again. Here's Savinho now. Brilliant from Savinho. As well, they're Foden now. Edge of the box, Rico Lewis thought about it. Gonzalez won't shoot, will he? This is a clever clip pass there. Savinho with a cutback. Marmoush surely. Oh, Van Dijk, sensational. Magnificent defending there by Virgil van Dijk, and Rico Lewis on the rebound. Can't direct that on target. Brilliant there from Nico Gonzalez. First time really that we have seen him play an expansive, adventurous ball there. Lovely clip pass. Look at Virgil van Dijk, how he defends that front post. Brilliant. Pep Guardiola almost feels that this result is slipping away from his fingers here. Salah might just run at him here. Nathan Ake does really well on the slip there. He's lost his balance. Here's Salah. We'll think about the shot. Salah with the shot. It's on target. But Edison saves. But the rain is really pouring down at the Etihad Stadium now. Slick conditions. Nathan Ake losing his footing there. Salah looking to capitalize as we head towards the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time here. Liverpool heading to the top of the table with the cushion of 11 points as it stands. 16 shots for Manchester City. How many of them were threatening? There's Alexander-Arnold. Brilliant read from him. Now venturing forward. It's something that Liverpool have to replace as well. How do you replace Alexander-Arnold at right back? Such a unique profile. Nice control shown by Nico Gonzalez. He's trying to grow into the game now, Gonzalez. Here's Doku. Doubled up again. Foden lays it off to Gonzalez. Again, thought about the scoop pass. Lays it off to Doku instead. Doku with a couple of step overs. Jeremy Doku trying to get it on the outside. Does really well. Wataru Endo, superb. Japanese international on the cover. Precisely what he's brought on to do here. Doku looking to trouble Alexander-Arnold with his constant movement. So hard to pick out which side he's going to go. He can very easily drop the shoulder or push out. Foden with the ball in. Van Dijk with yet another headed clearance. Add that to the tally. Complete performance from the Liverpool skipper as they look for the clean sheet at Etihad here. Doku can't keep the ball in play and it's out for a goal kick. Precisely according to plan for Liverpool. Pep Guardiola is not happy with what he's seeing out there, but he'll know that he has been roundly beaten by Liverpool in both ties. At Anfield, well, Pep Guardiola and Manchester City did not lay a glove. Liverpool was sensational. They won that game 2-0 if I'm not mistaken, but it could have been so much more. And now 2-0 at Etihad Stadium. So it's just perfect for them. This is what you do, don't you? This is how you make a statement. This is how you win the Premier League. Manchester City making a triple substitution as they hope to salvage something from this. Whether or not this triple substitution is going to help them, we'll wait and see. But Mateo Kovacic replacing Nico Gonzalez, Ruben Diaz in place of Nathan Ake, and Ilkay Gundogan for the Egyptian international Omar Marmoush. Almost like a resignation letter here from Pep Guardiola. Just hoping that they don't concede anymore. Try and get a goal that might just be a bit... But I don't see where the goal comes from, man. It's not going to come from Ruben Diaz. It's not going to come from... Maybe from Ilkay Gundogan, but not from Kovacic either. And Arne Slot has looked to respond with a substitution himself. Bobby Madley will confirm that it will be Cody Gakpo who will replace Luis Diaz. He's been a willing runner, not getting on the score sheet today, but I think on the left-hand side, the way he's worked on and off the ball, I think he's had a very good game, and he gets the standing ovation from the adoring Liverpool supporters as Cody Gakpo, the Dutch international, makes his way as he gets about 12 minutes to stoppage time. The 3 substitutions being made by Arne Slot. No minutes by the looks of it for Diogo Jota or Darwin Núñez. And same can be said about Jack Grealish. He really has fallen out of favour for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, hasn't he? It just feels like his exit from Manchester City almost inevitable. Never really got going in Manchester City. He had a good season when he first came in, when they won the treble. Wasn't largely part of him. I mean, he was a bit part player to say the very least, and then winning the league again. So in terms of team accolades, I would say he's done very much in terms of mission accomplished. But personally, the way his trajectory was to go, he is really underachieved. You can see the likes of Doku and Savinho immediately usurping him. And now with the likes of Omar Marmoush coming into the fray as well. And by the looks of it, I think City will go for an attacking midfielder in the summer. They'll have to replace Kevin De Bruyne. They might just splash big here. And if you're looking at an obvious signing, it's Florian Wirtz, isn't it, from Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen won't let him go cheap, that's for sure. He is their star boy. But Florian Wirtz is a name that City will be looking for. Might have been a foul on that occasion, but he's okay with that. Again, striding forward here, Ruben Diaz. First involvement for him. I want to see what the reason was for not making the starting 11 today, and I think it's just one reason and one reason only: pace. Nathan Ake's recovery pace, far more than what Ruben Diaz has to offer. Ake and Kusanov, both rapid centre halves. So we're into the final 10 minutes per stoppage time. As we look at the league table here, Manchester City in 4th, level on points with 5th place Newcastle. Nottingham Forest remain in 3rd after that loss to Newcastle. Arsenal in 2nd, 53 points. Heavy, damaging defeat at the hands of Graham Potter and West Ham at the Emirates Stadium. And Liverpool now 11 points ahead. 9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. And we are looking at the potential champions here. Here's Savinho. Look at Liverpool's shape off the ball. In terms of second half, the way they've managed this and restricted Manchester City has been sensational. That's another terrible pass there by Phil Foden. He's asking so much there from Jeremy Doku. Horrible pass. He's had a few shots on target, which might just help his ratings on these apps, but my goodness, he's dropped an absolute stinker, Phil Foden. Here's Kovacic. Marmoush. Kovacic again. And they're playing at a walking pace here, Manchester City. Liverpool just shifting from side to side. Here's Foden again. Kovacic. Foden. Phil Foden. Good strength shown there by Gravenberch. And Foden yet again dispossessed. And that goes out for a goal kick. 8 minutes plus stoppage time remain for Liverpool. They're nearly home and dry. They've completely outplayed Manchester City, and they have shut down Manchester City both home and away. It's still not over, but look at 83 minutes. Again, another stat that will maybe raise a lot of eyebrows, 160 passes in the final third by Manchester City, and Liverpool only 41. Does that mean anything? Really doesn't. Oh, terrible giveaway. Salah, what a pass that is. Szoboszlai to make it 3-0. It's another block by Kusanov. He might have done some damage to him. Salah with a tremendous pick out. It's Kusanov once again on the cover. What a terrible pass that is by Ruben Diaz. It crashes against the back of Kovacic. This pass by Salah is brilliant. Szoboszlai takes a touch, and Kusanov on the cover with the slide brilliantly prevents the third. Well, the Uzbeki centre-half has done his part, hasn't he? He has bailed out Manchester City on multiple occasions from Liverpool, extending their lead. Another corner here for Liverpool. 7 corners for Manchester City. This is Liverpool's 5th. All 7 corners of Manchester City added to absolutely nothing. Liverpool scored from one of their cleverly worked set-piece routine as McAllister delivers the ball into the box. Konate's header doesn't time that well, though, against the ground. Guardiola can run away with the ball here. City can look to break. Do they have the legs, though? Guardiola looking for the big switch there. Foden looking to run. Might get there first. Tsimikas does. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, could that be a back pass? I don't think it can be considered as a back pass. I think it was, though. Robertson knew exactly what he was doing. He just wanted to lump that forward. Not Robertson, it was Tsimikas rather, number 21. You can see there, it can almost look like he might have wanted to just scoop that forward. It's very difficult to judge whether or not that was an intentional back pass. Liverpool get away with that one. Another clever pass to Salah, looking to burst past Guardiola. Those passes in those channels are so difficult to really read for Manchester City. The space has opened up as almost Kusanov from one side, Guardiola from the other, push up. A lot of space opens up from either side of the centre halves, and Liverpool have looked to exploit that on many occasions. Here's Konate now. Liverpool enjoying the ball here in enemy ground. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Here's Konate. Nicely played forward. Easily dealt with. Gravenberch will clear. Alexander-Arnold nearly getting the ball there. Landing awkwardly, but it's okay. It'll be a throw-in for Manchester City. Liverpool nearly home and dry here. What a moment. What a result this would be. Arsenal fans are watching the time tick down in horror here. They were hoping that this weekend would be the big one for them, where they beat West Ham and possibly City taking points off Liverpool. It's gone completely the other way. A 6-point swing in match week 26. Brilliant from Doku again, but no real end product. Nice drag back. The Doku signature move against Wataru Endo. Here's Kovacic. Rico Lewis. Kovacic again. Good work again by Wataru Endo. What a substitution he's turned out to be. The long pass clipped towards Salah won't reach him. He was looking to run down that right wing. Goal and assist for Mo Salah. Absolutely ridiculous from the Egyptian king. And even in games where he's not good or he's not looked likely to really impact the goals, he always does pop up with the crucial moments, and that's why Mo Salah is worth what he is. Pep Guardiola and the rain at the Etihad Stadium will know that his team have been roundly beaten. It's back to the drawing board for Pep and Man City. It's a giveaway there by Gravenberch. Oh, there's a misplaced attempt there from Jeremy Doku. Well, Mo Salah is on course for a historic season here. Of course, the record for assists, 20 by Thierry Henry, 2003, 2004, hasn't been beaten since then. Salah's on 16 assists, if I'm not mistaken. And in terms of goals, Mo Salah, 32 goals in his very first season in the Premier League. He looks that very much might be on for to break that as well, on top of Liverpool picking up the Premier League crown. So could be the perfect way for Mo Salah to possibly sign off from Liverpool. I say that only because Salah, Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold are yet to sign their contracts as the ball looks to be floated in. Again, Liverpool are so much more powerful than Manchester City, aren't they? They've just got that size and power. Van Dijk with yet another headed clearance. They keep slinging the ball into the box like something different's going to happen, or Van Dijk's going to magically shrink in inches here. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Here's Doku. Kovacic. Doku again. Doku goes around the outside. Another block. Tries to find Gundogan. Here's Salah defending in his own box. Here's Diaz now. 90 seconds plus stoppage time remain. Lewis. Liverpool's block is perfect here. They are not going to break through the lines, are they? And they lose the ball, and then they can break here. Cody Gakpo's got fresh legs, but good work again from Kusanov with the recovery. I think the two best centre-halves on display today, personally for me, has been Virgil van Dijk and Abdulkadir Kusanov. Van Dijk, of course, bags of experience, one of the greatest centre-halves of his generation. Kusanov, of course, he's got a long way to go here. So we're into the final minute plus stoppage time here. Liverpool readying a final substitution. Harvey Elliott seems to be ready to be coming on here. Here's Doku. Going to take on Endo. Breezes past the Japanese international. Looks to breeze past Alexander-Arnold as well. Doku does well. So good. Endo. Brilliant. He lost the first duel, but he went back and bit into the challenge. Liverpool keep winning their duels. Brilliant play there. Here's Ruben Diaz. City looking for a goal here. Again, they've been limp. They really have been limp against Manchester City and now against Liverpool. Pep Guardiola must be scratching his head. Without Haaland, goals really have dried up. It looks like Kevin De Bruyne is not going to make much of an impact in those areas. Phil Foden seems to have completely fallen off a cliff since his Player of the Year campaign last season. This season he has been atrocious, hasn't he? Well, 4 minutes of stoppage time remains as Liverpool all but sealing the 3 points here. What a performance by the Reds. This is some way to stamp your authority. And for Manchester City, their third loss at home in the Premier League this season. Incredible. They hadn't lost a game at the Etihad Stadium for 55 games up until this season, where Tottenham beat them 4-0. And from there, it's just been spiraled out. As we look at the race for the Golden Boot, it's all Mo Salah, man. 25 goals for him. The next best, Erling Haaland on 19, as Mo Salah's evening comes to an end. A goal and an assist for the Egyptian king. Over 50 goal involvements already in the Premier League season. A historic campaign for the Egyptian king. Two substitutes here. Salah and Alexander-Arnold complete their evenings as the final 3 minutes sees Harvey Elliott and Gerald Kwanzaa get minutes for Liverpool. The two academy lads will be on the pitch for a famous moment in Liverpool history here. A seminal moment in Liverpool folklore. Well, in 2019-2020, that season when Liverpool won the league after 33 years, when they beat Manchester United 2-0 at Anfield, it felt like, yes, the title is surely going to be in Liverpool's hand. And this one feels pretty much the same. They've been head and shoulders the best team in the Premier League. And now going to the home of the champions, the departing champions, they've gone out and put up a perfect performance here. 2-0 to the good with 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Here's Kovacic looking for a consolation goal. Now scoop pass, easily dealt with. Another ball into the box. I don't understand. I really don't. The tactics have been very strange from Pep Guardiola and Manchester City as Erling Haaland looks forlorn at the bench. He has missed two of the biggest games for Manchester City in this period. And Manchester City have really struggled to threaten first Real Madrid and now Liverpool. Final 90 seconds here, ball in Manchester City territory. This will be a massive roar. Really could be a seminal moment. It is a seminal moment. Arsenal fans, look away. Look away now. They pretty much have been watching this game with their hands in their heads. And look at the Liverpool fans who have made the journey to the Etihad Stadium where they've seen their team winless time after time again. This will be the moment for them as they look for the third here. McAllister, Robertson, well blocked there by Luis Diaz. Tsimikas with the ball in. Cleared away again. 30 seconds remain as City look for a consolation goal. Phil Foden finds Gundogan. Poor pass there. Kwanzaa intercepts. Well, Anthony Taylor has had a look at the watch here. 30 seconds remain for Liverpool. Here's Harvey Elliott. He can run straight to the corner flag. It's all over this. Brilliant from Liverpool. What a performance from back to front. They have dominated the champions in their own backyard. And they have one hand on the trophy surely now. Well, the Etihad Stadium has quickly emptied here. Anthony Taylor has looked at his watch. Surely now. Liverpool just keeping the ball. City have stopped the press. This is brilliant. It's all Ole's. Still keeping the ball. Gravenberch with a signature turn away from Foden and then clips the ball forward. Ederson quickly off his line and he clears. Oh, Konate is a bit of a mistake here. Foden looks to turn. Surely last chance saloon for City to get a consolation goal now. Here's Doku trying to beat the combination of Konate and Kwanzaa. He gets nothing from it. They look to clear. Here's Elliott. And the full-time whistle has been blown at the Etihad Stadium. What a result this is from Arne Slot and Liverpool. Surely now Liverpool have one hand on the trophy as they extend their lead at the top to 11 points. Arne Slot and Liverpool with their first victory at the Etihad Stadium in 9 years as Mo Salah with over 50 goal involvements in the league this season with a goal and an assist. First scoring in the 14th minute and then assisting Dominic Szoboszlai for the second. In the second half, Liverpool far too comfortable. Limited Manchester City to shots from outside the box. They look brilliant, haven't they? It's a massive, massive moment in the Premier League here as Liverpool humble the champions in their very own ground. It's full time here at the Etihad Stadium. It's Manchester City 0, Liverpool 2.